Ryan Gravenberch is the Paul Pogba regen, and could Erling Haaland be the greatest ever Premier League striker? In this video we are going to overreact to Game Week 3's Premier League fixtures. As we did for the last couple of weeks, let's just run through the games and go through the big ones and fly through the less important ones. So Saturday, Arsenal versus Brighton, 12:30 kickoff. Arsenal started really well. This is one of the games I watched, and I thought Arsenal, they did play really well in that game. Saka and Odegaard, I love that connection down that right-hand side. And Havertz, as much as he's not necessarily involved a lot in the game, he's popping up the goals a lot more. And I know his runs are excellent. I know his work rate has increased quite a lot. But he's one of those players that I think if he weighs in with 18 goals this season, a lot of people, like I said the other week, including myself, are going to owe him an apology. Because I wrote him off ages ago. I wrote him off when he was at Chelsea. So now to see him being one of the most effective, I'm not going to say best, but one of the most effective strikers in the league, I mean, it's quite surprising, to be honest. But then, I suppose, the big talking point of the game was Declan Rice's red card. The first yellow, it did have a VAR check, I believe. It was never a sending off, it was just a tough tackle. Then the second yellow is the big thing that, I mean, at the end of the day, if Rice stayed on that pitch, I think Arsenal would have won that quite comfortably, but he didn't. Brighton were about to have a free kick, and he kicked it out of the way. In my opinion, it's a tough one because by the letter of the law, yes, it should be a yellow card. You kick the ball away at free kick, he shouldn't have done it. But if I'm a referee and that old thing that says referee in the spirit of the game, then he should have done that. He should have just gone to Declan Rice. What are you doing? Next time you're off and let's just calm it down. But he didn't. He sent him off straight away and it changed the game. And sometimes, I know Brighton fans won't care about this. I know diehard rivals of Arsenal won't care about this. But when I'm watching a game, regardless who it is, I just want to see an entertaining game. And it's one of those like Declan Rice getting sent off, just changed the entire game. And Brighton just piled on the attack a lot more. And to be honest, Arsenal were lucky to come out drawing 1-1. But regardless of this result, I still think Arsenal will be with Man City as the top two this season. And I also think Brighton could do a little Europe charge if they just stay fit. And if Danny Welbeck stays fit, then he is on fire at the moment. Now you've got the half-free kickoffs. You've got Brentford, Southampton, Everton, Bournemouth, Ipswich, Fulham, Leicester, Aston Villa, and you've got Forest, Wolves. We'll start with Brentford, Southampton. Thomas Frank, again, doing a fantastic job. And Bueno and Visser, it doesn't seem like they're going to miss Tony this season. Again, do they have the quality to sustain the entire season? I don't think so. But they've just got such a well-organised team. On the flip side of that, Southampton, wow, I think Southampton are really, really going to struggle this season. Getting Aaron Ramsdale on deadline day was a huge signing because, was it Banzu, the Irish lad in net for them? I'm never really a big fan of him, but Aaron Ramsdale is one of the best keepers in the league on his day. And I think the PR around him has just gone down so much that, let's not lie about it, at one point he was going to be England's number one. And then I think he had a few dodgy games, then he got dropped for David Raya and it never happened. But he got brought to a previous tournament and he was really pushing Pickford. So to get him for 25 million in this market, when Liverpool just signed that Georgian keeper for like 40 million, then I think that's an absolute bargain. Ipswich, Fulham next. Again, a draw. I think it's good that Ipswich have at least got a point on the board because they're two really tough games against Liverpool and Man City. That just seems unfair. But Liam Delap, wow, what a goal that was. Then I think it was unfortunate with their signings on deadline day because I saw they were trying to get Reece Nelson and I saw they were trying to get Armando Broja from Chelsea after he'd failed the medical. I believe they're trying to get back in for him. And the two of them didn't materialise, which is a big shame for him because Broja at Southampton a few years ago was brilliant. And same with Reece Nelson. Reece Nelson is a very, very good player. Should have probably left Arsenal permanently by now. And he's gone to Fulham on loan, I believe. But if they had them two, plus Jack Clark in the summer window, plus Liam Delap, plus Mari Hutchinson, plus all those boys who got them promoted, then that would have been a bit of a relegation. I think they could potentially got out of it. Without those signings, I think they're really going to struggle. Fulham, on the flip side, seem like they're going to be a solid mid-table team. Adama Traore, as we've all said it for years and years and years, once he gets in product, bloody hell, that is a scary man to play against. And it seems like he's got it at the moment. Wolves, Forest, again, there's not a lot to talk about, in my opinion, between these two teams. Probably relegation, battling, especially Wolves. And then Forest are going to probably end up 14th, 15th, aren't they? I think they've actually got quite a few good players. They nearly got Kelleher from Liverpool, who I think probably should have gone. I think if I'm Liverpool, I want to loan out Kelleher because they've just brought in the Georgian lad and put him on the market, and then next season you could probably sell him for 30-40 million if he had a great season. However, they didn't do that. Then second to last on the 3 PM fixtures, Leicester Villa. Leicester aren't going down without a fight, but Villa just had too much for them. That first goal, that little set piece, I mean, it just took Leicester completely off by guard. Ollie Watkins, if you're a Villa fan, tell me what is going on with Ollie Watkins. Why does he keep on getting subbed off about 60 minutes in? I know John Duran's playing pretty well at the moment, but surely can't the two coexist with maybe Morgan Rogers behind? Then, the best game of the season so far. Everton versus Bournemouth. Just seeing it, refreshing it on my Sky Sports app. Brilliant. Everton go 2-0 up. Calvert-Lewin's got a goal and an assist. It seems like Everton are going to get their first win of the season. All the fans have been having to go to players after the Spurs game and the Brighton game. They just got smashed at home. So it seems like they're coming back. But then, I believe it was 9 minutes between all three Bournemouth goals, Everton completely collapsed. And I was saying today, isn't it the best thing when that last goal went in and you just saw all the fans stand up and just leave the stadium before the final whistle? It's brilliant. And yes, if I'm an Everton fan, I'm pretty angry at the moment. I don't think the performances have actually been that bad. I think defensively they just seem a bit shaky, which is weird because defensively that is what Everton could hold their hat on. And then the man of the moment, we're talking 2 hat-tricks this season, 7 goals in 3 games. That man is Erling Haaland, and good lord, can we put to bed if he is an overrated player, or if he's this or he's that, or if he's a League 2 player, says Roy Keane, the way he plays technically. He is world class. He is going to go down as probably the Premier League top goal scorer if he stays in the league. He's probably going to go down as one of the best strikers to ever grace football. He might be that this season, next season already. And he's in his early 20s, so God knows what he's going to be like in his late 20s. And also, I love the Man City away strip that was like the 99 final against Gillingham in the Championship playoffs. I think when Paul Dickov did the knee slide, very iconic. But I love these retro shirts. But like I say, Haaland, wow. 8 hat-tricks in his Premier League career. 69 games, 8 hat-tricks. That's ridiculous. Sergio Aguero got 12 hat-tricks. Alan Shearer, the all-time goal scorer, got 11. That's only 3 more than him. And he's been here for not even over 3 seasons yet. I mean, the man is just a robot, a machine, call it what you want. West Ham looked like they put up a good fight, caught the second half of it. Kudus, he just needs end product, doesn't he? He's a fantastic player, but he just needs that end product to hit the post. Jarrod Bowen again, just brilliant. On another day, if Man City don't have Erling Haaland, West Ham could have come a result, but West Ham look good at the moment. I wouldn't be worried if I was a West Ham fan. And then recording this as of Sunday, we got Chelsea Palace, Newcastle Spurs, and then United Liverpool. Let's go to the Chelsea Palace game. I didn't catch this. Saw the highlights. Again, Nicholas Jackson got on the score sheet. Eze got on the score sheet. It seemed like an okay game. Nothing really much to report. Don't know why Chelsea signed Sancho. Chelsea fan, tell me why you would sign him. If Clearlake, is it Clearlake, the Chelsea ownership, if their idea is to get young players and then sell them for a higher profit, then tell me why you're going to get Sancho, who I believe they have an obligation to buy, so probably about 25-30 million. You're not going to flip him for maybe even 10% of that, really. So 10% more, sorry. So why have you bought him? Because you've got Noni Madueke, who's fantastic. You've got Pedro Neto, who's brilliant. João Felix, I know he's not a winger, brilliant. You've got Nkunku, who's playing on the wing. So you just seem to be saturating that midfield. On the other hand, Crystal Palace, they kept on to Mark Gahey. Was it a smart idea to keep him for the entire season? I mean, if you could turn it down 60 plus million, then who knows? But then again, if you keep him in the Premier League, that's probably worth more than 60 million. So it's apples and oranges, really. They brought in that French lad from Wolfsburg, I believe, Lacroix, I think his name is. All I'll say, and I know I sound like a child here, he's got a lot of pace on FIFA, so I think he's quick, but I have no idea what he's like, really. And they also brought in Eddie Nketiah at the end of transfer deadline day, so it's not it's an okay signing, isn't it? I think Edouard was linked to a move elsewhere. Then Newcastle Spurs, I always think this is a good game between the two, especially at St James's Park. If I was a Spurs fan, I'd be a bit annoyed because I think they could have easily won that. Newcastle looked okay. I think Isaac looked really good. But you're looking at that Newcastle goal, the second one. Come on, lads. Spurs. Why isn't Mickey van der Ven starting? 2, I thought Radu played quite well. But it's a simple ball, just past. It wasn't even over the top, it's just past Radu. And then Isaac just got on the end of it after Jacob Murphy passed it to him. It seemed ridiculous, and it just seemed like kind of secondary school defending. And they squandered so many chances. It just seemed like they were trying to walk it in the net sometimes. Audebert, I actually quite like him, and I think he looks really good. Brennan Johnson came on. Son, I prefer him up top, really, but I know they play him on the wing a bit. And once they get Solanke back, I think they will be okay. And if you are a Liverpool fan, it's a perfect weekend. Everton lose at the death, and you go to Old Trafford, and you win 3-0. And It was a weird game. United started okay, but they just collapsed for some reason. I'll say it once, I'll say it again. Why did they keep Ten Hag? He had an FA. They were going to sack him on the FA Cup final just because he won that game. Then they just completely do a U-turn and think he is the right man for the job. For Ineos to be this really calculated, analytical ownership that's come in, and they seem like they are, what decision is that? But regardless, I'll go through a few Man United good points. There wasn't a lot. Bruno Fernandes, I feel bad for him as much as I think he seems like a bit of a rat. He is a great player, and I don't think he has the players around him. And I'll be deadly honest, other than that, I mean, the fullbacks fought were pretty good in the first half. Marcus Rashford, as I've said it so many times, I find it annoying that it looks like a chore. Give up your 350 grand a week contract, go play for any other team that'll have you because you're a very good player, and stop moping around the pitch because it's just embarrassing, really. But then Liverpool just turned it on. Luis Diaz, 2 goals, that second goal, that is such a hard finish to do. And I think it came off one foot to the other, so it was a bit lucky, but still, brilliant finish. And then Salah turned it on in the second half. Dalot was having a lot of troubles with him in that second half, and he just looks top quality this season. I really want him to stay in that pace. But the main man, in my opinion, Dominic Szoboszlai was really good, but it's Ryan Gravenberch. Just talk about that offside goal, the one with Trent. Van Dijk, fantastic ball, but the way Gravenberch opened his body out and then just ran with it. And I'll say it so many times, the best kind of player to watch, my opinion, is the lanky central midfielder who's quite athletic. Not massively athletic, but quite athletic. I'm talking your Paul Pogbas. I'm talking your Moussa Dembele's from Spurs, one of my favourite players of all time. He was so strong, he was so agile, but he was just brilliant. And I think Ryan Gravenberch could be that coming from holding mid. He took the ball all the way to the 18-yard box. Great weighted pass to Luis Diaz, hit across the box to Trent, and that's stuff that I think we are seeing from Arne Slot this season. Like I did a video the other day, if Chiesa can just bring some explosiveness and just some impact off the bench, then Liverpool title challenges. And I think the way Arne Slot has got them playing, it's a very, very long season, especially now more Champions League games, but they look brilliant. They look so dynamic up top. Seems like it takes a bit to get into the game, as it has done for Liverpool for quite a while now, but still in the second half it seems like there's a lot more intricacy around the box, whereas I love Jurgen Klopp to death. Sometimes it felt a low block, it was quite hard to break the other team down. Let me know what you think of this game week's fixtures. If you could leave a like this video, if you could leave a comment, and if you subscribe to the channel, that'd be really appreciated. But thanks for watching. Bye.